Let's dance in style, let's dance for a while. Heaven can wait, we're only watching the skies. Hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. Are you gonna drop the bomb or not? Let us die young or let us live forever. We don't have the power, but we never say never. Sitting in a sandpit, life is a short trip. The music's for the sad man. Forever young, I wanna be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? Forever and ever. Forever young, I wanna be.
Hey, may the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows. But we ain't even thinking that far. You know what I mean?
Forever. Forever.
So we living life like a video. Where the sun is always out and you never get old, and the champagne's always cold and the music's always good, and the pretty girls just happen to stop by in the hood, and they hop their pretty ass up on the hood of that pretty ass car without a wrinkle in today. Cause there's no tomorrow, just a picture perfect day that lasts a whole lifetime, and it never ends. Cause all we have to do is hit rewind. So let's just stay in the moment, smoke some, drink some wine, reminisce, talk some forever young is in your mind. Leave them off the can erase, neither space nor time. So when the director yells cut, I'll be fine. I'm forever young.
Forever young, I wanna be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? Forever and ever. Forever young, I wanna be forever young. Forever.
This. Type something in.
But just to look at that girl with the lights coming up in her eyes. She's got to be somebody's baby. She must be somebody's baby. All the guys on the corner stand back and let her walk on by. She's got to be somebody's baby. She must be somebody's baby. She's got to be somebody's baby. She's so fine. She's probably somebody's only light, gonna shine tonight. Yeah, she's probably somebody's baby, alright. I heard her talking with her friend when she thought nobody else was around. She said she's got to be somebody's baby. She must be somebody's baby. Cause when the cars and the signs and the street lights light up the town, she's got to be somebody's baby. She must be somebody's baby. She's got to be somebody's baby. She's so. She's gonna be somebody's only light, gonna shine tonight. Yeah, she's gonna be somebody's baby tonight. I try to shut my eyes, but I can't get her out of my sight. I know I'm gonna know her, but I gotta get over.
Hello, hello. Hi, sweet tea. How are you? It's funny when my granddaughter always says, "How are you doing, sweetie?" She'll act like, we'll be pretending to play school or doctor or whatever. And, I have to be the patient. And she'll say, "Okay, sweetie, come in. Sit down, sweetie." She always says that to me. So it's funny when it came up sweetie instead of sweet tea in the text. It was cracking me up because it immediately made me think of my granddaughter. Hope you're doing well. Just got back from the admin building not too long ago. A little slow today, but Tuesday. You know what's funny is this town is riddled with potholes. I mean, everywhere. It's like, I've said it before. I think that someone's purposely doing it. I truly believe that. Like, there's something's going on, and it would not surprise me. And they just keep popping up more and more and more. None of them get fixed. Well, I noticed the other day going to the admin building that there was another huge pothole right in the middle of their road. And it's on the reservation, but it's still a city road. That's right before you get to their admin building. And huge pothole. And they're also hosting the World Cup. They're going to have like 4 watch parties. They got these huge tents that they're putting up right now. It's crazy how big the tents are. I was like, damn, they don't even look like they could fit those things there. But anyway, so they're going to, and the world's going to be watching because, Seattle is hosting FIFA or whatever, that World Cup thing. So they fixed that pothole. Out of all the potholes in the city, that literally is the only pothole they fixed that I've seen anywhere in this whole entire city. That's the only pothole I've seen fixed in recent memory. And I know it's just because, and they did a shitty job on it at that, but I'm just like, my God. Too bad it's not a different kind of pothole. Yeah, like an unlimited hole of pot. Can you report potholes? I tried twice. You get nowhere with it. Absolutely nowhere. They just give you the runaround. They're not going to do nothing. They don't give a shit. Like I said, I really think somebody's doing it on purpose. And I heard my buddy Brian said he's seen something where it made the news, and he's in Arizona, but I never seen nothing about it. Yeah, just it's just funny that I almost could just predict that they were going to fill it. I knew they were going to fill it because the potholes in New York City. The potholes on New York City roads have potholes. The potholes have potholes. Damn. Yeah. Yeah, and I know it's a problem. It's been a problem, but it's like something's just weird about it here. Yeah, exactly. You know which ones to avoid, right? But here's the thing. Is they just keep popping up by the day now. And it's so weird because when they open up, all the stuff just disappears out of them. And it's just hard to explain. They don't look normal. They don't look like a normal pothole. Like it'll be like a 2-foot crack by like 3 or 4 inches, 5 inches sometimes. And all of the debris is gone. And then you just see that everywhere. I don't know, man. Maybe they started using evaporating tar. Who knows? Yeah, 2 feet. That's what I'm saying. It's like they're not just potholes. They're like gaping sections of missing road. I don't know. Especially after it rains, you don't know how deep it gets. Right. Yeah, this is how new this is. We haven't seen that yet. Like all these potholes that I'm talking about, they haven't been around since we had a heavy rain where we had to worry about. So I'm just talking about within like the last couple months, before it's been after the winter. We're talking like since, like obviously some of them have been around forever, but this new phenomenon, I want to say since like maybe March. It's crazy. Daniel Berry, hello. How are you? Yeah, and then I think I told you about that 17-year-old kid that was shot over his necklace right down the road. That's fucking just awful. Awful. They better catch those dudes. There was 4 of them. And it was the dude in the back seat that did it. And the kid gave up his necklace right away, is what the girlfriend said, and the guy still shot him. Like, motherfucker, man. Yeah, it's very sad. Very, very sad. And then we also had a chemical explosion in Longview where some people died, which is pretty wild. Yeah, they'll turn. Somebody's going to get them. And they have a description of the car. So let's see here. It's towards the bottom anyway. A major chemical explosion reported at the Nippon facility that occurred around 7:30 a.m. this morning. Yeah, that doesn't really tell us much. I heard some people died. Let me look it up real quick. And yeah, I think this is like 4 or 5 chemical explosions, chemical plant explosions in just recently. What kind of plant and what are the details and how many people died and were injured in the chemical plant explosion in Longview, Washington? Oh, you know what else I heard today too? That if you ask ChatGPT a simple yes or no question, or whatever search engine you use, it takes like I can't remember the exact number, but over a liter of water. Maybe it was like 3 liters of water or something like that for one simple yes or no question, whatever the frick that means. Did you hear Donald Trump Jr. is getting married and his father is not going? Yeah, I thought he already got married. I guess not yet, huh? Yeah, you know who he's marrying too, right? She's marrying Jeffrey Epstein's, the daughter of Jeffrey Epstein something or other. Oops. We can look that up too. The plant was the Nippon Dynawave packaging facility, a pulp and paper liquid packaging plant, not a traditional chemical plant. The incident happened when a large chemical tank imploded and ruptured. The substance called white liquor, a highly caustic chemical solution used in the craft paper process, sodium hydroxide, and sodium sulfide. Authorities have confirmed fatalities, but not released an exact number yet. At least 10 people were injured, including one firefighter. So I'll ask you one more question. How many chemical plant explosions has there been in the U.S. in the last week? See if it gives us a number. Longview, Garden Grove, California. I know I heard of another one too, but you know the internet wants to lie to us about all that stuff. Well, maybe he did get married already. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. They married over the weekend quietly, no big shindig. Okay. Oh, hey, teacher said that. Hello, hello, hey, teacher. There goes Osada using ChatGPT and now has to build another 100,000 data centers. Yep. Exactly. You know, that's ridiculous. Every question we ask it. So why don't we just go back to using Google then? Did Google take up 3 liters of water to answer a yes or no question? You know what I mean? That's such the biggest horse shit I've ever heard of. Yeah, in LA, right? There was one. So is that are those terrorist attacks possibly? Or are they to, make these plants inoperable so they can become data centers? Who knows? Whoops. Oh yeah, I wanted to get out of that. Hold on one sec. Let's see here. Oh yeah. Who is the chick? What relation does Donald Trump Jr.'s wife / fiance, what relationship does her father, or what relationship did her father have with Jeffrey Epstein? It won't stop running. There we go. It didn't want to finish that one. It doesn't want to answer this question, I bet. It'll take forever because it's a Jew-owned. Bettina Anderson and her father, Harry Loy Anderson Jr. The relationship had been publicly reported as indirect and financial / social business partnership. Harry Loy Anderson Jr. was a Palm Beach banker who interacted with Jeffrey Epstein in a banking character reference context. 99 recommendation letter attributed to Anderson reportedly described Epstein favorably, a gentleman of the highest integrity, to support Epstein's efforts related to business tax arrangements in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So it's all just fucking bullshit. Faking gay, the world is a stage. We got Palm Beach Pete running around out there looking like Jeffrey Epstein. And now we got Donald Trump Jr. marrying Palm Beach Bettina. I think they call her like the Queen of Palm Beach or something like that. And of course they have relations to Jeffrey Epstein. Of course they do. Yeah, right, Sweet Tea. Google, as far as we know, didn't take water. At least it wasn't an issue until now. Now all of a sudden we need city-sized data centers for. I mean, I'm just over it. There was one chemical explosion in Belmore, Long Island, and there are people picketing, asking people to wake up because they are planted. Hi, Cranky. The people are picketing because they're asking people to wake up because they are planted. What do you mean, hey teacher? Like they're saying that that they made that explosion happen on purpose, or? I mean, that would be wild if that's what they're picketing about. We had a chemical implosion in my neck of the woods. I was a bit uneasy about it because my son is a firefighter and he was there doing his thing. Yeah. You're talking about down there in Longview, right? That's crazy. We were just talking about that. Yeah. It's wild times right now. Longview, yeah. Yeah, they said excuse me. They said confirmed fatalities, but they just haven't said how many people died, but at least 10 injured. So let's see here. Am I sharing the yeah, okay. So Stephen Miller says the scale of welfare fraud is so massive that eliminating it alone could balance the entire federal budget. Yeah, we've heard this bullshit before. Is this some type of just weak ploy at his presidential campaign? Either one of these guys?
Not abiding by our laws, and the amount that has been fleeced from us is in the hundreds of billions of dollars. I believe, based on what I've seen and what I've heard, is that we could balance the federal budget if the only dollars that went out of the Treasury went to individuals who were properly, lawfully, correctly eligible to receive them. And that ultimately is going to be what we have to do as a country. In the meantime, because of the Vice President's leadership, you are seeing the most muscular, robust, aggressive, dedicated, determined, and speedy effort to shut down criminal fraud that has not only ever occurred in the history of this country, but in any developed nation. So thank you. Not abiding by our law.
This is a good picture right here because he's got his eyes closed. They both have their eyes closed. And one of them has his mouth open. And you know why his mouth is open. Absolute lies. Absolute fucking bullshit. And whether that's a lie or not, okay, maybe they could save hundreds of billions of dollars. Well, they spend $100 billion a day probably in that war, firing missiles and shit. It's just absolute. It's just sickening. The whole thing. I'm over it. I mean, I hate these guys so much it's not even funny. And it makes me just want to spit venom thinking about all of those fucking people in Washington. Hey, Patty, how are you? Good to see you. The confirmed casualties will be announced at 7. Wow. To check that out. It could be a terrorist attack. I mean, there's one too many of these things happening. And everything that's going on right now, I mean, yikes. Yikes. This guy, Andrew Hoffman, raped his son's best friend for 3 years. First-degree felony, was looking at life without parole. Ken Paxton, the Attorney General of Texas, who is a friend of this guy, and they're both Jews. Well, I think they're both Jews. I know Andy Adam Hoffman is, the rapist. He's a Jew. So instead of getting life in prison, Ken Paxton's office gutted it to 60 days, and he walked free after 30 days. No sex offender registration. His record scrubbed clean. And you guys can look that story up too. Here's a video of him walking out of jail.
Here, take a picture.
With mine or yours?
Here. You want the microphone?
Yeah.
Here, hold it.
Adam, you want to stop visiting with us for a few minutes?
No, thanks. I'm heading home.
You want to say anything about how this blew up? All this story blew up around you?
I'd like to go.
You go home and fucking jerk off to fucking kiddie porn, or what are you gonna do, you little fucking? I mean, that dude should be hung. But because he's a Jew and this is what our country's become, he's walking out after 30 days in jail. I mean, why even put him in jail? How does that even happen? I don't know all the details behind it. Like, how did, was he sentenced to life in prison and then got out in 30 days? I don't think that's what happened. I think what? This is what our country's become, man. You just have to protect your kids at all cost. And I mean, at a level like you'd have to watch everything. These motherfuckers, man. I just opened Twitter and got a message that my account is suspended. I never post. I checked out the feed. Now I have to. Really? It's probably for guilt by association for knowing me, Sweet Tea. They said, oh, the Osada Treats guy? So disgusting. Yeah. It's an absolute, it's just, what makes me mad is that I can't, even though I'm not monetized, there's like certain things that you don't want to say, publicly, because you don't want to get, legally in trouble. You don't want to go to jail. So I got to bite my tongue a little bit on that one. And pretty much I just have to bite it all the way because I just won't stop. That just makes me sick to my stomach. Dean, dude, what's going down? I hope nobody's seen me come in the Screwball show. Well, they've seen you now. And that was in Texas? Yes. Yeah. What a pain, Sweet Tea, to appeal. Yeah, it is because you know me. Speaking of guilt by association, there's Steenie. Throw one more tomato in here, and you're going in the bathroom. Dean, dude, check this out. Since you're here, you're definitely gonna. This is crazy. I have never seen this in horse racing before. Absolute, and I think they're both okay. But I don't know if you've seen this. Check this out, man.
All set.
Started playing Rocket Man.
Tiz Marcus broke right on top of the green cap and towards the outside. Here comes Screaming Uncle. Unseating the rider there was Glint.
Did you guys see that?
On the far outside, unseated.
Let me go back.
Tiz Marcus broke right on top of the green cap.
You see this guy? Look how high he is. I don't know if I ever seen somebody go like that. And look at him. He's flying. He's level with that light pole. That doesn't even look real. Boom. That is not. And those are just little guys, too. I need to look that up. Where was that? Who was that? Edward Zayas. What happened to that jockey Edward Zayas that got launched off the horse? Was he okay? I'm asking the internet. It's going to cost 17 gallons of water to answer this question. Let's see here. Yes, he appears to be okay. First, the jockey's name is, he's trying to correct me. It's Edgard Zayas. He suffered only minor cuts and scrapes to his face, did not require hospitalization, stood down for the rest of the racing card as a precaution. That's crazy town. I never seen anything like that before. Have you ever heard of the phrase snail mail? 17 gallons of what? Cranky says yes, she's heard of snail mail. Sweet tea, laugh, that's cute. Yep, snail mail is regular mail. Yes, I had never heard of snail mail before. Never heard of anything. Never heard of nothing of the sort, snail mail. I've heard of chain mail. Never snail mail. Email, chain mail, Gmail. You learn something new every day. So the jockey's okay, thankfully. We got the Rapo that gets out after 30 days. I mean, it's just disgusting, man. And that's Texas. What happened to Don't Mess with Texas? Tucker Carlson, he had this guy on his show that he's called the ethical hacker, and told Tucker his social, all of his old addresses, all this kind of stuff. Kind of freaked him out a little bit. Pretty good. It was a pretty good podcast, actually. They talk about Roblox. Theme, dude, don't let Enzo play Roblox. You know, I know he's too small right now for video games. You probably won't let have him be playing too many video games anyways. But there's this game called Roblox that's for kids. That kids to play it, but it's got pedophiles on there. And if you watch that Tucker Carlson interview, it's crazy. Not only do they got pedophiles on there, a guy went on there and busted 6 pedophiles. He got 6 pedophiles arrested off of Roblox, and Roblox banned that guy. Roblox banned the guy that got the pedophiles arrested. They banned him. So you got to be very careful with these online games and stuff like that. Apparently, it's crazy. But this is that interview. But this is not talking about that. Tucker's not happy. He's talking about, I think, paying taxes or credit card debt or something.
If you're in debt to anybody, you're literally in debt to them. You owe them something you haven't yet paid. So that is, by definition, their control over you.
And they're talking about politicians, that all of these politicians, it's not so much that they get compromised for having sex with kids. The majority of them are compromised because they're in debt to other people, the people that got them there.
Right?
Yeah, they have control over you, and they can take your assets if you don't pay them. So I totally understand it, and it's a risky. Depending on the type of person. Some people are more risk taking when they don't have the funds. I don't believe you should be taking out loans that you can't afford.
Yeah.
It's people saying don't spend money you don't have. It's something most people are aware of, but some people don't practice that.
Yeah, I used to feel that way. Now I'm kind of like, I don't know. I think people should stop paying their credit cards. I know no one else agrees with me. And, you have a moral obligation. Really? Well, you have a moral obligation not to send credit card applications to kids in college. So this goes both ways. It's like just blaming the drug addict and never mentioning the dealer. Someone's selling the fentanyl, and that person is on the hook too. So that's how I feel. So is it a sin to rip off your drug dealer? I guess. It's not one I'm going to judge you for.
Yeah, I think it's 100% agree with you there. Yeah.
I mean, something has to be done, guys. We have to push back against this. It ain't going to stop. It ain't going to stop, and it's already gotten so bad that it's not even funny anymore. You can't even send your kid to school without there being major concerns of unreported sexual abuse and everything else in between. The doctors, the churches, definitely our government, you know. It's crazy times. How stupid do people have to be to someone to give them something and they think they are not indebted? Favors are never free. Yes, favors are never free. But the thing is that if you want something so bad, you'll do anything for it. You know what I mean? Like, and the weird thing is too, it's like, it's probably not just about the money. I mean, because there's not like, you know, I mean, yeah, you probably have some advantages to like insider trading and stuff like that. But what good does insider trading do you if you don't have the capital to invest in the first place? You know, so I don't know. Washington, D.C. has to be just the most disgusting. Oh, good Lord. Could you imagine what that place is like? You know? It's crazy. But yeah, this was a great interview. If anybody is interested, the Tucker one that just happened. Future markets say that if we want $3 a gallon in gas again, we're going to have to wait 6 years until 2032.
So how long is it going to be before we actually start to see some relief? Look at this. This is where we were before the war started. This is where we are right now. There's a huge amount of time that it's going to take, according to the futures market, before we get back down to that sub $70 an oil level. Look at this, 2032. So you want $3 gas again, you're going to have to wait maybe 6 years. And so what does that mean for everything? Look at this. Produce, clothing, airfare, gas, shipping, all of these rely on high gas prices, high oil prices. All of them are going to continue to be more expensive as long as this lasts.
I'm sorry, did I hear you correctly? Did you say 2032?
Yeah. So if you look at this, this tells you what the oil market is predicting prices will be in the future. We don't get back down to this level until 2032. That's the prediction. We'll see if that ends up being the case. But
yeah. Now would be a good time to buy a 8-cylinder, right? Because people are going to be giving those away pretty soon. Diesels, 8 cylinders. Or if you want to go the other route, we all need to stop buying shit. I know I have. Yeah, that's one way we can push back for sure. You know, and I think we've all probably cut back just by, you know, I can't think of the word right now, but you just have to because you're forced to basically. But yeah, no, I agree. It's well, you can get if you want to go electric, like isn't that, don't you think that's a smart move to go electric? Because they're building data centers that are the size of Manhattan or twice the size of Manhattan, and the one in Utah requires 2.5 times more power than all of Utah already uses right now. So, of course, going electric is a good idea. I mean, I can just see electric being so cheap. Electric's not even going to be available. And the price for electricity is going to be astronomical. So, good luck with that one too, I guess, right? brought to you by the electric car business, right? But don't you think that those AI data centers and all that? I mean, think about that. Anybody that thinks that they're gonna have it easy by having an electric car is sorely mistaken, in my opinion. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but to me, the writing on the wall is those AI data centers they keep talking about that require so much water and so much electricity. But if you do want to go electric, you can get the new Ferrari. They have went electric. And people are not happy about it, but
So how long?
Let me find it. Here we go. This is the new electric Ferrari. And this particular post is comparing it to this $35,000, I think maybe Nissan Sentra or something. Nissan Leaf. $645,000 for this one. And $35,000 for that one. This is it right here.
Darling, this car doesn't run on electricity. It runs on homosexual energy.
Yeah, the Ferrari Luce. And then this guy is the former Ferrari chairman, Montezemolo, tears the new electric Ferrari Luce apart.
Si dire quello che penso farei del male alla Ferrari. Si rischia la distruzione di un mito. Mi dispiace moltissimo.
Ma lo possiamo dare?
Spero che si tolga il cavallino almeno da quella macchina.
Che dobbiamo fare con la Cina? Che dobbiamo fare con la Cina?
Cosa dobbiamo fare?
Con la Cina.
Questa sicuramente è una macchina che almeno i cinesi non ci copieranno.
So for those of you that don't speak that language, whatever that was, Italian, French, German, frickin' Hungarian, Austrian, I don't know. He said, I cannot say what I really think. I would harm Ferrari. We risk the destruction of a legend. So sorry. Take that prancing horse off. At least the Chinese won't copy this car. So, yep. $645,000 electric Ferrari. Oh, hey, Tommy is on. So I'm going to go back for. Okay, Patty. Thank you for stopping by. Feel so bad. These gas prices brought to you by electric car business. Yeah, it's crazy town. Crazy town. All right, what else do we have here? Did that one. Did the gas prices. We looked at the repo.
I think the white man's going to do it. Although Stern has a little Jewish ring to it. I've never met too many Jews that are tough.
You did or didn't?
I don't. A lot of Jews that come into the gym, like, I love you guys, but
There's not a lot of Jewish fighters, are there?
yeah, I don't know why. They just like, I don't know, man. Maybe they're just so used to bombing kids, you know. It doesn't translate. I think the white man's gonna.
Oh, good old Sean Strickland. You know, he does come out with some gold once in a while. You don't really see too many Jewish fighters, you know. Right thing, dude? You already know. Gas cars only. So Tommy's on right now. We can have an anti-Tommy party over here. This will be go fuck yourself wind down party over here. Go take your fucking Carlo Rossi and go find your sister's ass. How about that? No, I'm just teasing Tommy. He says, Tommy who? All right, what else do we got here? Elon Musk is thinking about, if you want to come up, Dingo, you can too. I'll drop the link. SpaceX and Tesla, he wants to merge them into a $7.5 trillion company. Oh yeah, let's just go ahead and make it 7 trillion million billion zillion quadrillion dollar company, shall we?
Learned is that Elon Musk has engaged in thought experiments around folding Tesla into SpaceX's ecosystem, given the synergistic opportunities. That's according to people directly familiar with the matter who spoke to myself and digital reporter Laura Kolodny. What we found, first and foremost, Tesla and SpaceX share talent. Musk is CEO and sits on the board of both companies, as does his brother Kimball. SpaceX board members Antonio Gracias and Steve Jurvetson previously sat on Tesla's board. And there's another key figure, Charles Kuhlman, who serves as vice president of materials engineering for both companies. He's known, guys, for playing a central role in troubleshooting key design issues for both businesses. In fact, we're told engineers from SpaceX and Tesla often collaborate on solving issues related to energy, GPU constraints. Now, a deal of this size would be complex, with SpaceX having a potentially market cap of $1.5 trillion once it goes public, while Tesla is currently sitting at around 1.6. Legal experts we spoke to said that a SpaceX-Tesla merger wouldn't really invite antitrust concerns, but would raise some important questions on valuation. Tesla shareholders will want to know, how are they getting compensated, and if it will be a one-for-one trade, while SpaceX investors will likely want to know if they are overpaying.
So it's not a what do you call that? Monopoly, or I can't remember the other word. Because they're not the same type of company, I guess. Elon doesn't even run those companies. That dude is a bumbling idiot. It takes him 10 minutes to answer one question. We're supposed to believe he's a genius. I don't believe it. I don't buy it. We don't need people with that much money. It just ruins everything. You know, we should have a cap on how much money people could have. Like $1 billion is the most. You know, then somebody like Elon and Jeff Bezos, you know, they would have to give up, you know, like together like $1 trillion that would go back into society. You know, we need to quit having people, these companies, anybody gets a good idea, they just buy it. They just gobble it up. Microsoft gets all the software. Jeff Bezos gets all the, you know, whatever the fuck he gets. You know what I mean? It's wild. So we looked at the gay Ferrari. Jared Kushner's life is in immediate danger due to an Iranian assassination threat against him for being Jewish. Well, let's just hope they're fucking successful.
Obviously, Ivanka Trump's husband. How does that play in as well? Would you perceive that he's also in danger?
Oh, I think he's definitely in danger. He's Jewish, and Ivanka converted to Judaism when they were married. This is just another reason why we went to war with Iran. President Trump has correctly said that Iran has been at war with us for 47 years.
Absolute. This dude is a fucking. This dude. His mother was a whore. This guy right here. His mother was the neighborhood whore. These people are just absolute shitbag liars. And if Jared Kushner's life is in danger, it's because he's an absolute fucking scumbag and he looks like a vampire. God, I hate these people so much. They're such a weird couple. Yes, they are. They are. He's Trump's, personal advisor. He's the one negotiating with Iran. He has a lot of power, that guy, Jared Kushner. He's pretty much more powerful than Trump in certain ways. The chemical explosion. RFK was at Dr. Oz's house, which I just always find just weird. Those guys hanging out together. I mean, RFK Jr. is a weird motherfucker. He is just a creepy son of a bitch. But anyway, he's picking up some snakes in the backyard of Dr. Oz's house.
Yeah. So what are they? Well, they were having sex. So what were they? They're not moccasins.
Okay.
Are they biting?
Honey, let it go. Oh my God.
Jesus, the mouths are huge.
Please. Bobby, please. Oh God.
You're coming up. Thank you.
Cheryl's in the background. Honey, honey, honey. Tim Dillon with the spot on. I mean, this is just so spot on.
It's the greatest con in history. By the way, it's the greatest con in history. I mean, truly. It's the greatest. And I don't say great in like a good way. It is truly the most successful con in history. It makes Enron look like a guy doing 3-card Monte on the street. Anything that you can remember and identify as a complete and utter scam, this is the greatest con in history. To run as an America first, and you're going to take care of America, and then turn around and go, all of these things, daycare, Medicare, Medicaid, we have nothing to do with that. We're fighting wars. That's what we're here to do. We're here to have a defense budget of $1.5 trillion, and we're here to fight wars. It is the greatest scam in history. You got to hand it to him. And I mean, truly, and not, again, not in a moral way, but like, you got to hand it to him. This is the greatest about face in political history that I have really ever seen.
Definitely is. Have you seen if Chud the Builder is still in jail? I think he is too, Patty. Let me ask. Yes. He is in the Montgomery County Jail in Tennessee after being charged with attempted murder and related offenses. I heard, though, that he's going to get off because I guess I got video that shows him the gun went off when he fell or something. I don't know. We'll see. Bob the Builder, can he build it? Yes, he can. Yeah, that's Thindu. I actually made a picture of Thindu as Bob the Builder. I have it on my phone. There have been some funny memes out with them showing big black eyes hanging around his head. Yeah, I bet. Well, he deserves it. I mean, he's such a jerk off, that guy. And we already knew it was going to happen, Yep. I mean, hold on a sec here. Where was that at? Hold on. I saved a video, but I can't remember what it was. Let me look on my saved videos. Give me 1 second here. Let's see here. I don't know if it was YouTube or not. Maybe watch later. Anybody have anything they want me to look up? I'm just going down the bottom of my trash is Oh yeah, no, I'm good on that. Candace had a good little podcast today. Kind of drawing a blank on what it was about. I bought some cinnamon rolls. Just like store-bought cinnamon rolls. I'm thinking about making attempted murder seems extreme. I guess he shot the guy twice, right? And then shot himself once. I don't know exactly. Yeah, I don't think he'll get attempted murder. You never know, though. But I bought cinnamon rolls, just like, you know, in the roll. I want to make my own, but I'm just going to start with these kind until I dial it in, because I'm making. I'm going to make some huckleberry glaze. I want to see how that goes. Like a huckleberry glaze with actual chunks of huckleberry in the glaze. So it'll be like a huckleberry cinnamon roll. So I have a recipe for the glaze. I'm going to try that. I really like the orange glaze for cinnamon rolls. I might, yeah, I don't know. Have you guys ever tried to make cinnamon rolls? I was going to make my own, and I looked it up. You got to use yeast. I've never made anything with yeast before. I do want to make my own bread one of these days, but I don't really want to mess with yeast right now. That's why I just got the store-bought ones. Candace is amazing. Yes, she is. You've made cinnamon rolls, Patty? Are they fairly easy? I saw blackberries for 99 cents today. You should substitute for huckleberry. Well, it's not a bad idea. I mean, any type of that fruit. Oh, you know what else I'm going to do too? You guys ever? I think Sweet Tea does, but anybody use the boba? I'm not doing the tapioca. I'm doing mango and then strawberry popping boba. I'm going to order some of that and put it in my lemonade. In fact, I might as well just order that today so I can start advertising. The yeast stuff is pretty time consuming. Yeah, that's what I don't, yeah. But, you know, I mean, if I started it a couple days in advance, you know, I wouldn't mind having to make like some giant cinnamon rolls. I think I could sell some giant ones with huckleberry. You bet the boba will be hit? Yes, me too. I'm hoping. Yeah, I'm going to order it after I end the show. Because the sooner I get it in my hands, I can advertise it, you know. I don't want to advertise that I'm doing it until I actually have it physically. And that way I can take pictures too. There's a food truck that the family lives in my neighborhood. Sounds interesting. Yeah, I've never had it myself, Cranky. Yeast rolls are really good. I don't think you would like the time involved, hours to rise. Well, I wonder if I did it. I'm going to try it just once, Patty, just because, you know, I just like to try everything at least once. But you definitely could be right on that, you know, because, but, you know, I have the middle of the week where I'm not really doing much, you know, babysitting, and I went out and sold today, but a lot of times on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm not out selling, and I'm just working in the kitchen. Did I tell you guys I got a new banner too? I ordered a huckleberry, finally came in, a huckleberry cheesecake banner. It's the shit. I can't wait to set it up. Probably use it on Sunday. It is a nice banner. Only $48 too. So vinyl. I'm gonna try to keep it in good condition. I notice when I roll my banners up, they get all nasty. And if I put like a towel or a sheet of paper or something. I'm going to find something when I roll it up that it just keeps a barrier. So like the front isn't rolling onto the back and getting it all dirty and nasty. You know what I mean? Homemade bread, buns, cheese rolls. People love baked stuff with yeast. Oh, yes, they do. Always good sellers. You know, at all the events I go to, unless the people, you know, there's a couple people that like they're doing on their baking skills, but people that make good bread, they always sell out. And I never used to be bread guy, but I look for sourdough now. I give everybody a chance if they make sourdough. But I got one lady, her name's Raven. That's why I usually buy at least one loaf a week from her. Bought one on Friday. I just had a piece with my dinner before I started the show. I made, my buddy Brian talked me into making this. I bought 2 pounds of ground beef from the meat market. And then I used a can of corn, a can of pinto beans, a can of black beans, a can of tomatoes, 3 jalapenos. What else went in there? A little beef broth. I juiced 3 limes, bought some cilantro, and cooked all that up. And I did that. What's today? Tuesday? So I did that on Sunday evening. Got some Sunday, I had some Monday, and I had some today. And I'll probably have some tomorrow and probably be gone on Thursday. So let me catch up on the chat here. There's your time to experiment without pressure when you are babysitting. Yes. If you could prepare all the dough in the middle of the week, you could bake day before or day of, you would make tons of money. Yeah, for sure. Yep. I just got to find my my little niche, you know. So I don't want to do. I would love to do sourdough. In fact, I do want to do sourdough, but not necessarily to sell, just for me personally to eat, so I don't have to buy it as much. Because I love sourdough, and it's good for it's like super good for you, I guess. So I love sourdough. If you could prepare all the dough in the middle of the week, we read that one. I love all the carbs. Could you cheat a little and use pre-made pizza dough, then make the cinnamon mixture and spread it? Saves. I don't know. I haven't even begun to research like making cinnamon rolls yet. You know, the thing is too, is like, if you think about vending and, you know, competition and what sells and stuff like that, the harder it is to do, not always, because it has to be good, it has to be sellable, but you know, people love cinnamon rolls. If you do it, you know, like over the top and, you know, or something that's just difficult to make, no one else is going to be doing it, you know? Now, I'd love to do something like that at the farmer's market, but there's just no way because you have to be pre-approved for that kind of stuff. Not next year, maybe, but I don't know. Yep, I think I'll be making cinnamon rolls tonight. And I don't know who was it, Patty or somebody said something about the blackberry. Why don't I just try a couple different kinds? Why not? Because you know what's crazy? Like, I spend so much money on huckleberries for my lemonade, and that is my number one seller. But like today, I sold one lemonade and it was strawberry. So I do sell a lot of my other flavors. What other flavor of lemonade? So I have huckleberry, I have strawberry, pineapple mango, and then my 4-berry, which is blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, and strawberries, all blended together, and then that's in the lemonade. So those are the four lemonades that I offer. If I was going to offer a fifth one, what do you guys recommend? I saw something interesting today. Fortune cookies dipped in chocolate and then sprinkles. Ooh. That's interesting. Cranky says the same thing. Lavender. I did lavender lemonades with lavender syrup. Yeah, me and this girl, Maria, that I went to high school with, she was working with me for a little while. She's like, oh, yeah, people love lavender lemonade. So I bought 10 bottles of lavender. And we only sold a couple of lavender lemonades. That was before I did Huckleberry. But I definitely could do lavender. But I want it to be all real fruit. Well, it doesn't have to be all real fruit. It could have some syrup in there, but it's got to have some fruit. I guess it doesn't have to, but I would like it to. Blueberry lemonade, I tried that one time. My buddy Brian, what's he saying? Yeah, I don't know. I'll watch some video. Let's see here. Let's watch a video on cinnamon rolls real quick. From what's that guy's name? Preppy Kitchen. I watch a lot of this guy's videos. I do not know why I clicked on that one. Yeah, this guy.
The restaurant had a great catalog of the things that we needed.
Hey, I'm John Cannell. Today on Preppy Kitchen, we're making some easy, amazing cinnamon rolls. So let's get started. First off, in the bowl of your stand mixer, add 1 cup or 240 mils of warm milk. It should be about 110 degrees. And if the bowl of your mixer was ice cold, go ahead and either microwave it or run it under some hot water and then pour it out so all the heat doesn't get leached out right away. To help wake our yeast up, I'm adding 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. I also want 1 packet or 2 1/4 teaspoons of active dry yeast, not instant yeast. This lets you do a double rise. If you use instant yeast, that only gives you 1 rise before the yeast are like, I'm done, I did my job, there's no more. So whenever you're making something with yeast, make sure you triple check the label and use the correct kind. Give this a mix, and we're gonna set this aside just for about 5 minutes or until it's frothed up. If it doesn't froth up, your yeast are not okay and you need to start over again. You cannot use bad yeast. While our yeast rises up, we're going to get our dry ingredients together. So into a large bowl, I'm measuring out 4 2/3 cups of all-purpose flour. That's 560 grams. I'm using a scale for this because that'll give me the best results. You want your cinnamon rolls to have as little flour as possible and still hold together. I also want to measure out 1/3 cup or 73 grams of light brown sugar.
Okay, Cranky, thanks for stopping by. Have a great night. I do blueberry, blackberry, raspberry, and strawberry mixed, but raspberry by itself would be really good. I may try that. Yeah, that might be the one.
And this stuff is so prone to having lumps. Make sure you just crumble that up. If you're measuring this with a measuring cup, you really have to pack it down and make those lumps all the worse. So if you're doing that, really make sure that you crumble it up in your hands. Look at that, ridiculous. Your mixer would have to work so hard to break that up. I also want 1.5 teaspoons of salt. I'm also adding in half a teaspoon of cinnamon. If you have any other favorite spices you'd like, totally feel free to use those. I could see a lot of things like allspice or cardamom being great in here. Just use a 1/4 teaspoon. You also want to melt half a cup of butter, so go ahead and pop that into a microwave-safe bowl and go at 50% power in 10 to 15-second bursts. While you're waiting for your yeast to bloom, go ahead and give your dry ingredients a nice mix just to distribute everything and hunt around for brown sugar lumps. My butter's melted and my yeast has risen, so let's add all of this into our mixer and get to work. You can use a hand mixer if you want for this recipe. Let's be standing over the bowl for a while. And if you really want, you could do this all by hand. When I make pizza with the boys, I have this.
You know, it kind of gave me an idea when you said pomegranate. You're like, what if, and you know, pomegranate's good. I don't think I've ever had a pomegranate lemonade. What if I got like a couple little extra little add-ons or whatever, and I made a chart to where, you know, if you're looking for something that's good for circulation and, you know, mood stability and energy, you know, you go with this one. You know what I mean? Something like that. Maybe that's above my pay grade.
Then do everything by hand, and it's a really nice way to just take some time in the afternoon and have a tactile moment. Half a cup or 113 grams of melted butter, pour that all over. This, of course, will give you so much buttery richness and really make your dough just pillowy soft. It's gonna be great. 1 large egg, 1 tablespoon of vanilla goes a long way. This will make this so nice. Pop your mixer on low. Let this dough come together, and once you have like a nice shaggy mixture, it can go all the way up to medium, and you'll be kneading until this dough is tacky but doesn't stick to your fingers. That's the test, and I'll show you what it looks like. My dough has come together.
That's funny. Tree huggers, tree buggers, yeah, same thing. Yeah, I think something like that would be cool, just like a little chart.
Up to medium low, and this will be going for about 8 to 10 minutes. Kind of depends on your mixer. Just keep an eye on it. At the 8-minute mark, it's a nice time to take a look at your dough and see how it is. It's smooth and silky, but oh, that's nice. So it feels sticky or tacky, but it's not sticking to my clean fingers, which means that it's done and ready to rise. Grab a big bowl and lightly oil it, just using your fingers to push the oil up to the edge. Transfer that dough over. I like to turn the dough over just once so the oiled part's on top. Loosely cover your bowl, and we're gonna pop this into a warm place to rise until it's doubled in size. There are so many delicious things in here like butter and milk that your yeast has to work a little bit harder. It'll be 1.5 to 2 hours until it's doubled. Just be patient because it's totally worth it. There you go.
What's he doing?
Well, you know how Geico saved us 20.
Acai lemonade. That's what I want to try. You know that acai berry? You just sent me that thing and it had like the blue acai. I want to try. I want to actually get the acai berry. In fact, I'm going to buy a bowl of that acai from the coffee lady I know, and I'm going to try it in the lemonade. See how that works. That one I could charge just as much as the huckleberry. Blackberry mojito with fresh mint.
Towards the end of your rise time, we're gonna make our filling. It is so easy, but criminally delicious. In a medium bowl, we're gonna combine half a cup.
I don't need to see the filling.
Where?
Jean, by Preppy Queijon.
Bring the butter right up to 3 of the edges, but leave 1 of the short edges blank. Just give it half an inch of no butter. My surface is all buttered up, so now it's time to spread my cinnamon sugar over a nice even layer. Oh, it looks so beautiful. I love this. My cinnamon sugar's on. I'm going to spread this into a nice even layer with my hands. Now we're ready to roll. So this side with less butter and cinnamon sugar is your end. The other long side is your beginning. So you're going to fold that edge over.
You know what else I want to try too is flavored whipped cream. I flavored some whipped cream with banana pudding for my banoffee pies. And I was like, man, I would love to make just like some different flavored whipped creams and just kind of make a thing out of that. Even if I just did like sampling of flavored whipped cream, it would just be a way to get people over to my table. I got way too many ideas in my head right now. I need to write them all down. Definitely going to go make some cinnamon rolls though. Yeah, I think I'm gonna elderberry. I don't know anything about elderberry. And doesn't elderberry, you can't eat elderberry straight, can you? Don't you have to do something to it? That end idea is really good. Yeah, I think so too. You know, because you can add, well, they have all the different, do you know what lotus is? Have you ever heard of lotus? I'm sure you have. You can add all of those. Let's see. Yeah, you could do lotus, immune health. People make elderberry syrup for immune. Yeah, you can make an elderberry lemonade. Aloe vera. Put aloe vera in the lemonade? Now that one I'm thinking there's no way. Isn't that for like burns and stuff? Do people aloe vera is for your skin, isn't it? Yeah, I did try the coconut water in my lemonades, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah. I did coconut water. And I did try like cucumber watermelon and blackberry mint. I did a few different flavors a couple years ago. I made lemonades and I was putting them in these pouches, these drink pouches. That didn't last very long though. Aloe vera lemonade? I don't think that's possible, is it? Let me see. Yes, you can. 1 cup of aloe vera juice or freshly extracted aloe gel and 2 tablespoons of agave or honey. Huh. Interesting. Well, I need to look into this stuff. Because yes. You know. And I am. I'm going to print off something. I got it. It's going to take me a minute. I'll work on it, but it's going to be a chart that shows what benefits you get from the different lemonades. Something like that. And then offer some add-ins. You got to check with the farmers market and see if they will allow me to add Lotus to my lemonades. I don't see why they wouldn't. So, well, right on, Sweet Tea. Thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna head out and go make some cinnamon rolls and work on my huckleberry calays and see how those turn out. That's what I'm gonna do for the evening. So, do you use Canva for pictures or posts? I never got Canva to work. I need to look into it. You know, like ChatGPT will connect you with Canva, and I've tried to do a couple things, and it just never. It always glitches on me. So I don't know why. But yeah, no, I'm gonna look into it. All right, have a good night, and we will talk to you soon. I don't know if Tommy is live still or not. He might be.